Hey kiddies, so tonight I'm going to start pulling the motor of the Ceph. So what I'm going to do right now is start this hunk, get it out there, start pushing this, moving the Ceph in, and then once child is sorted and everything, I'll be back out and we'll start pulling the RB30 out. Right, another V8 cold start. Oh, not so well this time. There it goes. Right, I need to concentrate for this. There'll be enough for him to get the Ceph through there and in, but it's going to be a tight squeeze. I might not be able to do it by myself. So I'm going to have a go at pushing the Ceph in now. See, the main thing is pushing the Ceph into the garage would be a lot easier if my choice and diffs didn't involve weld. So cool, let's try push this in while I'm dying. I got from there right there. What a push. I'm pretty sure I almost didn't my boot, but let's try the last bit. Oh. Right. There we go. From there I can go straight. Oh my god. That was not easy. And now it can come straight into the garage and things can start getting unbolted. So I'll be back. Guess who's back? Back again. This dickhead's back. Don't tell your friends. Right. What's a sorry state? Shit. This might be the first time this bonnet has to come off since I first put this bonnet on the car, which was when the RB30 first went in. Well, it's been a while, but I'm going to start by dropping the coolant. I'll get someone around. It's a carbon fibre bonnet. I don't really want to damage it, so I'll get someone around to help me pull the bonnet off. Yeah, so get the bonnet off. I'll drain the coolant while it's out there. I'll get it in, jack it up, drain the oil, do all of that. Get the radiator out. So I'm going to go make a start on it now. Alright, radiator's out, radiator hoses are out. There's a high chance this radiator might not get used again because we're going to look at going cross flow on it, just help with cooling. So I'll take this old ruggedy fan off because I'm going to put a new fan on it anyway. So get that off and then start taking all the piping and stuff off. So normally when I do something like this, I set myself a challenge on time. I'm not going to rush myself to pull this motor out because it's a lot more to this motor than any other RB I've done or any other motor I've done in the past. I mean, my record with this car is drive in 20E, drive out 25 det in 3.5 hours. As unbelievable as it seems, the car was originally 25 det. I ran a bearing in it. Maybe I'll throw that video in because that one's a little bit of a doozy. And then I 20E swapped it, and then when I went back to 25 swap it, the motor was already bolted together, manifolds on it, turbo on it, everything, and all it was lift the motor out, put the piping back in, change the exhaust back over, and plug in the turbo loom again. So that was a reasonably straightforward job. Obviously, you know, change the clutch back over onto the 25 off the 20E and rah. So this one here, I'll probably spend the whole evening doing it, but here's what I'm going to show you now. So this here is one of the bits that makes it a bit more complicated for me than the other setup I've had. So if you can see in there where that spanner is, my power steering pump doesn't sit up the top where they normally do. So I'll just get a torch on there. I've moved my power steering pump down, and that is the original upper aircon mountings. So I have to sit here slowly with the spinner and do this, and So this is going to be a little bit time consuming. So join me back when I've got the power steering off. At least this side I've had to have apart before when I did the turbo. So I've got more of an understanding on this side. And how horrible it is to get off. But that came out easy. So that's my whole exhaust side of my intercooler piping. So that's literally all my intercooler piping is those two pieces. That looks like a slightly better position, eh? So now, I just have to remember where I put my screwdriver. And then I can start taking the intercooler piping off. It's going to be cunty. Because this intercooler piping, wow. This car wasn't made to come apart again. Because this motor's been in, it hasn't come apart for 2.5 years. One. This is the extent of my intercooler piping, and this, all this lobster back work and everything, was all done by Robbie at JB Fab. All Rapid did with it was fit the intake air temp sensor. So this is all nice lobster back stuff that was done by Robbie at JB Fabrication. And that is the extent of how long. At least this side I've had to have apart before when I did the turbo. So I've got more of an understanding on this side. And how horrible it is to get off. But that came out easy. So that's my whole exhaust side of my intercooler piping. So that's literally all my intercooler piping is those two pieces. Now that that's all off, working on unplugging the loom. Now let's get the fuel lines off. Then I'll get the barrel housing bolts, the heater hoses, and go from the injectors, and now all unplugged. I must say Ruben did a really nice job of this loom when he made it. This loom is a full mil spec loom to suit the Haltech system. So now it's fuel, oil, and they should come up through like that. Now I've got to take should take the fuel line off to take that loom out of there now, because it's probably a bit nicer than just feeding it through. But so we'll take the fuel lines off. This is the part that gets me panicky because I've got PTSD about petrol, but I'll do it for you guys. Alright. Thankfully most of the pressure was already drained out beforehand. No, there's still a little bit in that one, but most of the pressure already been drained out, so you know, nice and simple. Sitting here trying to find a light so I can work out this last wire that looks like goes onto the starter motor from the engine loom, but can't remember where I put my phone. A wee bit of a hindrance, but I'll find it and I'll carry on. You know, found me tool prober. Well, it does. It goes onto the power supply. Maybe that's where the ECU gets its power supply from, but I'll take that off now, and then that looks like the loom's right off, ready to come out. Loom's off. Gonna take top starter motor bolts out. It's not too far from coming out now, so the whole, basically most of the intake side's done, besides take the wiring off the alternator and take that off. The intake side's all done. I really need someone to come around and help me lift off the spanner if I'm going to pull the motor out tonight. But This is where we're heading, so motor should be out tonight. Oh, sorry about my camera handling, I was just trying to move a rope. So it's really just bell heads and bolts, engine mounts, exhaust and shit to do now, so I might get the wastegate off and then I can dump the exhaust as well. Because the wastegate has to come off to get to the bottom bolt because it's not a V-band turbo, unfortunately. Right, let's get this cunty wastegate out. Looks like it's removing itself. Oh, that sound smells very petrol-y. That screamer is 2.5 inches right down. Go on to the 60mm wastegate. So that sets off. Now I can pull the dump pipe off. Well, unbolt it from the turbo and pull it out of the way. Alright, so I'm down to the last bolt in the downpipe now. And then that's off too. The problem with a big 4-inch dump pipe is you don't get much room to work. Especially with this turbo setup. It would be a lot nicer if it was a V-band setup. That's that. Alright, we're down to just the oil cooler lines now, and then it can be lifted. Not bad. Sort of cruising around with it on an hour and a half in. Keep posted, see how it keeps going. Alright, engine crane's now hooked on. It is time. It is time. Alright, so the GoPro died as I started lifting the motor, so I don't have any of that as footage, but it's on the ground. It took a little bit longer because I was getting pissed off at it. Now this clutch, a real good clutch, and it will be for sale. I just personally don't like it. So you got a Nismo twin plate. It's just really tight on my gearbox spline. So when we put it in, the gearbox was, you know, real tight to get in and go on the spline, and then it was quite tight to get back off the spline. Whether that's I'll take a look at the splines on the clutch when I take it when I pull the clutch off, and I will take a look at the gearbox splines. But I sort of clickbaited you here. You're not going to find out what it went wrong in this video because it is 9:30 Wednesday night. I want this video to be up Thursday, so fingers crossed you guys are seeing this Thursday. So Friday I will have this on the stand, and clutch will come off, it'll go on the stand, and the sump will come off and we'll have a look. Saturday, Tavis from Twisted Performance in Nelson is coming down, and he wants to take the motor back down to back up to Nelson. So he originally built the RB30 for me about 4 years ago now. I got the motor back, so I think it was 5 years ago the motor went to him. So he wants to pull it down and have a look, and he's got some forged pistons and rods there as well, so we'll assess it here, and I will video assessing it, and then Tavis will probably take it away. Depending on how the assessment looks, we're going to check the oil pump, we're going to check the bearings, we're going to check the condition of the crank, we'll check all that, and then we'll sort of, you guys will know the plan in the video where we pull it down, what's happening from there. So that's going to wrap it for tonight. I've given up. That's why I am in my friggin' dressing gown, because I've gone up for the night, and after the GoPro died and I got the motor out, I went inside and had a shower. So now I'm going to go inside, upload this all to the laptop, edit it tonight, have a very late night editing, then in the morning I'll set it to upload. You guys will see it tomorrow night, and that's it for now. No.